Happy Monday. Hope you enjoyed a wonderful spring weekend like I did with my family. We were outside a lot this weekend, absorbing the sunshine, absorbing the spring weather. It was beautiful. This week in bond markets, the bond market actually has to absorb a lot of paper, like a record amount of paper is going to be auctioned this week on three different auctions structured by the government to sell Treasury bills and Treasury bonds to the world, right? To foreign countries, to investment pension funds, to mutual funds, to large investment banks. This paper has to be absorbed, or we could see yields rise and interest rates rise even further than they have the last couple of weeks. Now, ideally, it will be absorbed because we have seen yields rise quite a bit. As you've probably noticed, the last 2 weeks, interest rates are quite a bit higher than they were a couple of weeks ago. So that should attract investors to purchase this paper, to purchase this debt, because they'll get a decent yield. But if it's not enough to attract them, then yields will have to go and rise even further in order to attract investors at the next auctions. So let's take a look at this and see kind of what I'm talking about here. Here's what's happening on the schedule this week. We have on the slate for tomorrow, the 2-year Treasury auction, $69 billion worth of bonds, worth of debt that's going to be auctioned on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's going to be followed up with a 5-year auction with a record $70 billion of 5-year notes on Wednesday. And on Thursday, the 7-year Treasury, $44 billion worth of debt that's going to be auctioned on Thursday. That brings a grand total of $183 billion worth of debt in 1 week. Hopefully it's absorbed. If it's not absorbed, like I said, yields will rise because that's what happens. Yields have to rise to attract enough demand, enough investor demand to actually be purchased, to actually sell. So that's what's going on this week. Kind of an interesting week, and could portend some interesting news going forward. So how does that affect interest rates? What's going on right now in the markets? Well, the universal mortgage-backed security market, that's your 30-year fixed bond that directly affects mortgage rates, has improved a little bit this morning from last week. Actually, it started lower, or started out kind of lower than it ended last week, and now has improved to the point where we're slightly higher than the high point last Friday. But as you can see, we're still stuck. I'm going to scroll up here a little bit further. We're still stuck in this range here. I'm kind of circling with my cursor. Still stuck in this range that is quite a bit lower on price, higher in yield, higher in rate than we were a couple of weeks ago, when we were, for the most of the year, in a higher range of price, which meant lower yields, lower rates than we are now. So this is going to be a telling week. Whatever happens with these auctions will be important, will be huge, because there's so much volume of debt being auctioned this week. It's going to affect rates one way or the other. Hopefully there's enough demand where it'll keep a lid on things. And then on Friday, we have the PCE report, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Report, which measures the expenditures, the spending of the entire country for the month of March. 12-month year-over-year average, of course, March to March. They're not expecting that to move. They're expecting it to stay the same, maybe improve by 0.1%, but stay the same. If we see that tick up, like we've seen on some of the headlines recently, like with the CPI a couple of weeks ago, that would not be good, right? That would not help our case here. It would not help the bond market hold together where it's at. So this is a pivotal week with all the debt that's going to be auctioned, and then the PCE report on Friday. I'll have a lot to talk about on the video next Monday. In the meantime, of course, have a wonderful week, and hope that you enjoy spring, regardless of the stress of the markets and the higher interest rates. This is still the spring buying season. People are out buying. I've noticed multiple offers on homes, at least in our area here. It is competitive out there. And to that end, just want to remind you that here at Summit, we offer something unique. It's our $10,000 seller's choice underwriting guarantee. You've probably heard me talk about it before, but it's been a number of months. So I just wanted to point that out again to you. Remind you that what we're doing is underwriting our clients on the front end for FHA, VA, RD, and conventional products, and getting that approval and a certificate from underwriting that tells the seller and the listing agent that the client is fully approved. But if for some reason there was a mistake made in underwriting that causes a deal to blow up because of that, we give the seller the choice of $10,000 cash for their trouble, or the option to sell their home to Summit. So Summit would actually offer to buy their home if they're having a hard time selling it and just want to unload it. So that's our seller's choice underwriting guarantee, and it's worked great. We've noticed it doubles the likelihood that our clients get their offer accepted and close on a home, which doubles the likelihood that you get paid. So it's a wonderful program, and it highly encourages. It's very unique to Summit. It's spring. Let's get going. Let's sell some homes, and hopefully those interest rates will behave themselves this week, and we'll have decent participation. good participation in the bond markets that are coming up, and that the PCE will behave itself. Have a good day.